Hey y'all, it's Dalanie.
And it's Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast.
Where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
With trap beats playing in the background. Hey.
Hello everybody.
How's it going? You missed us. Say it. Say it back.
I was going to say that, but I was like, oh, we've been back for 3 weeks at this point. To them.
Oh, they're like, girl, no. Barely got through last week. Well, you're back, and that means you love it. You have to be honest with yourself.
Exactly. So.
You're welcome.
Well, you said you had a new book on your TBR.
I'm going to read it.
You are going to read that?
I'm going to hate read it, I think. Because why? I don't know.
At least it's the dad this time. But I feel like it's going to be something in there.
Especially because I bet you he don't even have that kind of upbringing. You just hate black people. You hate your own people. There's no other explanation. Cause it'd be different if it was like on an urban fiction tip, and it was like, but I read your stuff.
Yeah, if y'all know the lore about, then you can deduce what book we talking about, or at least what author we talking about.
I'm not saying that name.
Yeah, because I was like, well, at least it's the dad this time, but I feel like it's gonna be something in there that's gonna tie back to what the previous books were. But I was just like, I forgot how that came up on my stuff, and I was just like, I actually was like I've never felt so gaslit in my life.
Is it good?
There's no way. And I was like, if I hadn't read that book with you, I would be going crazy. And I'm already kind of going crazy because I'm like, because I came across a blurb from the New York Times that was like, that first book was, it shows that he writes invigorating character. I was like, you guys are lying. Why is everybody lying? I was like, I gotta put him on my vision board because he tells me I could do anything. If he could do that, I could do.
I don't understand how you had a book deal when it's like, those are so hard to get, and this is like your third book. And also I hate talking about him because it's a one-sided beef because he cashing in.
I just don't like. I did find out though what I'm finna do with that book, because I can't, my conscience, I can't throw away a book, but also I don't want to inflict it on the community, which I actually am going to in some way. But Thrift Books has a buyback program, so I could at least get it bought back and then use that money to buy another book. So that's what I'm finna do with that.
Or you could just wait because the way the regime taking off, they're gonna start burning books in the street.
Well, that's true. And they probably gonna cut off all our power and stuff. We're gonna need it for warmth. So anyway, speaking of the regime, I
don't try to buy into the whole it gets spooky stuff, but like, you never know when they cut off all the internet.
I mean, they do get spooky. They shooting people. I mean, they were shooting people in the street before, but they are continuing to do that in other. I won't even say now, but it's just increasing. Anyway, the Washington National Opera has announced that they are parting with the Kennedy Center as their venue. They have performed at the Kennedy Center since the building opened in 1971. So after more than 50 years as a resident there, they're no longer going to be there. The artistic director, Francesca Zambello, kind of floated this idea a few months ago after both their ticket sales dropped and their audience engagement dropped by like 50%.
50%.
It's crazy. After Donald Trump took over the venue earlier last year, like in February, which I'm like, I wonder what it is about the Kennedy Center, because that was one of your first orders of business. You were inaugurated in January. And by February, he was
we haven't even been to a year yet.
Yeah. It'll be a year this weekend.
What we're doing to celebrate. Reading the Bill of Rights while we have it.
Like, pin the whip on. No, I'm sorry. That's probably what they playing at the White House. That's probably what they playing. It's getting like, yeah.
Don't come to us for your source of
positivity and hope.
Yeah, you better go somewhere else.
I mean, we still putting out episodes. We still doing our stuff.
Listen, I'm hopeful. It'd be funny. It's not. It's funny till it's not gonna be funny no more.
Yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with the Kennedy Center, because a lot of stuff, not just their ticket sales are dropped. They also did the Kennedy Center Honors, which the viewership dropped. Viewership was 4.1 million in 2024. 2025 it was 2.65 million. So yeah, a lot of people are packing the Kennedy Center up. I just saw Bela Fleck pulled out of one of his engagements at the Kennedy Center. Yeah, that's kind of insane. I don't know where they're gonna go. We're gonna see if the National Symphony Orchestra, what they do, because they still there.
Probably nothing.
Yeah, but I mean, I was expecting. I mean, we're gonna see where the Washington National Opera goes. They leaving, but the National Symphony we gonna see. I mean, shout out to the opera girls for standing on business, I guess.
I wonder where they're finna go. I mean, it's DC. Probably plenty of venues.
Yeah,
they could play it.
Yeah, so
and probably cheaper ones too. They might hit a lick.
At this time, they haven't signed any leases. So.
Oh, you said opera.
Yeah,
you need more bells and whistles for that, don't you?
Yeah, I guess.
They can't go to high school auditorium.
But also, I guess it just depends on what they want to maintain, because.
Also, you could build on any stage. Like, my high school did Les Mis. Like, you really could just.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you could scale stuff, but it just depends on what sort of quality they want to maintain. I've never been to Washington National Opera. I don't know. And
also, what people are paying for.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it was the Kennedy Center, obviously nothing.
Or half of nothing.
Right. 50% is nuts.
Nuts.
That was in November that they said that, and he took over in February.
Not even a full. Like, that's nuts.
Yikes. He about to run this into the ground.
Oh, yeah, real bad.
Like, and especially because I think we talked about them giving all them free tickets to. I mean, they had a free tickets to veterans program, but then they were also allowing like allies to use the space at no cost to them. So it's like you're probably just gonna start hemorrhaging money. So everybody,
it's not worth it anymore.
Yeah. So. And then another thing that I came across that has actually developed since I originally came across it, the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra had originally sent a cease and desist letter to one of their former members, Esther Hwang, who had spoken out about sexual assault that she experienced when she was employed there. She decided to violate her confidentiality agreement and speak with the Globe and the Mail about what occurred to her, what occurred in 2017 and 2018. The reason why she decided to speak out because she felt like a lot of this stuff gets swept under the rug. A lot of people comply with the confidentiality agreements, and that allows things to just keep spiraling. So she said that she deliberately did that. And after the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra sent a cease and desist letter to her, warning that, quote, they could seek damages, including for reputational and consequential losses. Oboist and activist Catherine Needleman launched a petition and calling on the orchestra not to take any legal action, and also to issue a public apology. So they've just announced that they're not going to be taking any legal action due to the public pressure that the petition has brought upon them. I don't know why they thought that was finna. If she already spoke to the Globe and the Mail about what happened, why would she not tell everybody about it? Like she was finna take that cease and desist and whatever. Like everybody was clearly finna be on her side. Like, I don't know. You know what I haven't heard about? That New York Phil, whatever, because I know they was trying to.
Oh yeah, what happened to them?
And you know what? I knew I was forgetting something for the news. That's gonna have to be next week. Sorry, y'all. The dude from Nashville Symphony, the clarinetist.
What about him?
The one and he's suing Knoxville Symphony.
He went to Knoxville after that?
He recently auditioned and he won the audition, and then they saw
found out who it was.
And it was like, hang up for you. No, thank you. And now he's saying, well, since the political tide has turned, I think so now he's suing them.
So you know you were wrong.
Like, that's what
you can't get a job no. Yeah,
like he's a nutcase. Honestly, he's a nutcase. So I'll have to read about it and talk more about it next week to give it its proper setup, because I'm like, I was like, I'm forgetting something. But yeah. Anyway, we'll stop there on the news. I'll have everything linked because I know sister, you have engagements.
You saw a Juicy skit?
I heard that I think I saw like probably a thumbnail of a Drewski skit.
Oh, well, okay. Since we're talking about Richard Smallwood today, we're doing this review. Drewski, which I know 90% of y'all don't know who that is. But Drewski is a comedian. I think Drewski's funny. He does, what's that called? Like anthropology type of. Anthropology is a store.
Study.
Okay, my bad.
Like anthropological
brain rot. I was like, not the store. Anyway, he does like that kind of humor where there's a name for it that I'm blanking on right now, like commentary humor, basically. He did a skit where he impersonated a pastor, and of course it sent the Black internet spiraling because the clip I first saw was him hanging from the ceiling.
I saw a picture of that.
And he had Louboutins on, and he had like a nice suit, and he was like, you think I'm wearing all this expensive stuff because I'm a Christian? And you know, y'all classical musicians, so Louboutins have red bottoms.
You said y'all are poor. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that.
If I saw an orchestra member wearing Louboutins on stage, I'd be like, you must be sucking me.
You said you must be what?
I ain't say nothing.
You said they must be what?
I didn't say anything.
Oh no, some of y'all got some bread.
Their parents got bread.
No, that part. Not explaining it to them.
So Louboutins are these shoes that cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and they have red bottoms. And he was like, and I'm covered in blood of Jesus. I thought it was hilarious because church is absurd. And I was talking to Dalanie about this last week. I hope I don't know if I'm in a minority or not. I don't know. I had a very positive church experience, and I know that I am fortunate with that. I don't have a lot of church hurt outside of niggas being rude, which is like I could have had family hurt. Yeah. I could have had like it's niggas
had like, that at the fish market. Fish
yeah,
market
like, hurt. Gas station hurt. Niggas is being rude. Regular stuff. I had a very positive church environment and upbringing. I still am I part of the Black church right now? I mean, I guess by definition, because my pastor's Black with that CCM. Anyway,
so interesting.
I think it's Black church to me, but it's like the whole like church is changing. Church is changing, I think, in general. Anyway, that's another conversation. I also don't mind critiquing the Black church because I think a lot of you niggas be absurd. It's just like the reality of it. That's why I have a hard time finding. I remember when I moved to LA, I was not even planning on attending church because I was like, give me a second. It's hard for me to find a place where people ain't making stuff up. They're not. I went to a church very briefly when I lived in Normal, Illinois, and I'm looking around like, what are y'all shouting for? Like he ain't even saying nothing. How we 5 minutes into a message? How you can't you build a message on one verse? I hate when y'all do that because y'all don't preach enough to know how to do that. It's like writing a research paper on one article. Y'all not good enough preachers to be doing it. Y'all don't know the word. Y'all just saying stuff. I could clock that because I feel like I've also been privy to have good ministers in my life who are. And I know people be like, well, how do you know? I'm like, girl, because I know. Okay, I went through a period where I was a PK. So I was in church constantly. That was my life for like 4 years. Anyway, my point is, I thought this kid was hilarious. People, of course, he mocking God. How he mocking God? Oh, God. And that's where I had to click off because I was like, he talked about that because, and when I found out that Pastor Mike Todd, which, sorry, trigger warning, a lot of that's the same dude, or it might be a different dude. The mega church preachers are just a piece of work because they literally are wearing Louboutin and all this type of stuff, and you're imploring your members to tithe, most of whom, especially in the Black church, are skipping payments to tithe, hoping skipping bills, giving their last, and you're imploring them. And tithing is a conversation I'm not going to have here. I'm going to have the conversation here. But the point of it is that you are wearing $1,000 on stage and your members are living paycheck to paycheck. So Juicy held up a mirror. I thought it was hilarious because close the doors. Like, come on now. He didn't say that exact quote. There was like, ain't nobody leaving until we raise $4 million, something like that. And then he was pulling off in a Lamborghini, and this man came up and was like, he like went to the car door. He was like, hey man, can you pray for my wife? Da da da. And Juicy was like, hey man, don't touch my car. He was like, hey man, don't touch my car. And it's like, it was funny, and it's a mirror, and I'm like dreading Sunday because I'm just like, I really hope don't nobody say nothing about it. Just be regular. Just be.
No, because you go to the content church, they really gonna say.
They
gonna say something.
I'm like,
it's gonna be up on the screen.
My pastors at my church definitely saw, because they be on social media.
I mean, but they might agree because it's not like
they might agree.
It's not a mega church.
This one classifies as a mega church. One reminds me about the same membership as my home church before the pastor ran into the ground. Not Dillard. Curry. And that's another reason why this is public information, but that's another reason why like I thought it was funny, because I have personal experience with pastors mismanaging funds at the church. Not my current he's not the current pastor anymore. It's real messy in Evanston. It's real messy in Evanston. And I'm not gonna say too much about it because a lot of that is membership business. What I will say, the stuff that's public knowledge about the pastor, the former pastor stealing money from the church, that's public knowledge. So when Juicy up there like, don't touch my car, man, and stuff like that, like that's how y'all be. So I feel like it's gonna really give Hit Dog on Holler on Sunday, and I will be tuned in on social media just to see which pastor's gonna pretend like they don't know Juicy's name. When y'all saw that, or the church was just under fire when they was the church I used to teach at. You remember that?
Right. When they was calling people.
And the dude was like, and this girl just did this video. There's a huge mega church that have multiple campuses in DC. Don't remember the name. And she was about to lose her apartment. She was like, yo, like I lost my job. I haven't worked in 12 months, like in 9 months. Like I need help. I need benevolence. And she had to like submit all this paperwork about like how much she made and how much she spends on stuff and bank statements and all type of stuff to this mega church, right? She had to have a meeting. The benevolence committee review her stuff. And she was like, literally when I applied for unemployment and food stamps, they asked me less information than the church asked me. And they denied her the money. She was making the video from her parents' home in Atlanta. She had to move back home. So I feel like it's a timely conversation. I'm not saying pastors can't, even though I feel like it's a slippery slope. I'm not saying pastors can't do well for themselves, but some of y'all be doing too well.
Like, I just feel like it's just certain stuff you're not gonna have if you're a pastor. Like,
I just feel like even if you was making that kind of money, I don't know why is I don't know. You don't need a freaking like Rolls Royce as a pastor. Like, why are you driving that? Like, and I think the reason why I think it's a little bit of a slippery slope is there are pastors who do well for themselves in other ways outside of ministry, like TD Jakes, for example. Like, it's not only the Potter's house. I mean, he doesn't preach anymore because of that situation he had, but like he had conferences, he was in television, movies, like he's made wealth in other ways, not sucking people dry from the I was like, what not the man of God. I'm not talking about him. I'm just saying.
No, what was that? The thing that was going viral? We was talking about you ever been swallowed up? Remember that was going viral?
And that's why you can't. Like, I'm not gonna defend nobody. I don't know these people personally.
But even that's controversial to some people.
Yeah, I mean, I can see how it's controversial.
Like, even if you're not doing it for church, I mean, thank God you're not doing it from the church, but also like having all your stuff in them other buckets. Some people don't like that.
I mean, even on a smaller scale, because Monica was telling me about was going on at her church, and all the members hate it because, you know, the AME, they rotate pastors. I didn't know that. And like every 2 years or something like that, which is like weird to me because the whole point is like Anyway, and she was saying how people are mad because like she gets a lot of guest preachers because she's a lawyer, and so sometimes she's just not prepared, which is nuts. That's nuts.
She's the pastor?
She is the pastor of that church, and she's also a lawyer.
What kind of lawyer?
I don't know. So it's like,
I could see if you was like a public defender or something. I don't know.
It's also hard because most pastors don't make a lot of money. Like, and I feel like most pastors have a day job. At least most ministers have a day job. If you are the pastor of the church, well, it's complicated because also like but it's also I don't know. I think not like because a nun takes an oath of poverty. I don't think a pastor.
Oh my God!
Like,
why? The oath of poverty is so crazy.
To be a nun, I don't know.
It's like, okay, if I end up in poverty, that's one thing, but I gotta take an oath to ensure. No.
And that's why I'm too trifling for that Catholic stuff because I taught at a school in Rochester that had some nuns in there. Then a nun was the principal, and I saw her with that iPhone. I said, that's part of the poverty. Maybe the convent bought it for her. I don't know. Anyway,
that's interesting because I found out about these nuns. This was years ago. They was at odds with Katy Perry over that mansion that they own.
See,
the mansion was a convent, I guess, and then she wanted to buy it. And it's like the church, like the nuns were supposed to own part of it, but then the church sold it out from under them, so then they sued her for the mansion. It was a whole thing.
I don't want no nun mansion. I'm trying to have me a little drink and our walls start shaking. Like, I want. Anyway, my point is all this to say, what would a skit in classical music contain?
You're right. I was gonna say the intermission. A skit in classical. First of all, this is your wheelhouse. What would a skit in classical music contain? You skits and classical music.
I ain't think about it. To be fair to you, I ain't really think about it. Once I got to the intermission and I was washing my hair, I was like, period. And I thought about something else.
What's a skit in classical?
What's the thing that people want to hold a mirror up to? I feel like low key is leadership the problem in general because it would be the conductors.
Oh, that's the first thing that came to my mind. It would be something to do with them.
Conductors make so much money and your musicians don't. In most cases. Mm-hmm. Obviously, LA Phil, Chicago, da-da-da. But you sitting on $200K while people in your section, principals making $40. And you doing the least amount of work. You are doing the least amount of work.
Right. What am I trying to say? I don't know. I
think also the problem with it doesn't constitute comedy, but there's a lot of issues in classical music that wouldn't. I mean, Drewski also sidesteps some of that stuff too. There's assault in the church and there's assault in classical music, but if you gotta be real funny to pull something like that off, and I don't even really know how one would do that. That's real. I saw Miss Pat last week, and she did some jokes on autism, which when the topic came up, I said, "How's she finna handle this?" And I don't remember because I get a little uneasy about certain, so I don't really remember the jokes actually, but I remember them being like, I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. Miss Pat's hilarious to me, and it wasn't like offensive.
That's a little surprising, honestly.
You said what?
That's a little surprising because I feel like Miss Pat could go either way. She's had a hell of a life. Her life has been insane. Like, I was like, girl, I was like, whoa, overstimulating.
It's overstimulating.
If you don't know what happened to Miss Pat, go look her up.
Well, it's a lot.
Like,
honestly, I mean, I don't think she's particularly religious. I could glean from her the way she told jokes about God and stuff like that, about church and stuff like that, I should say. But Father, I feel like it'll push you either way. You either atheist or you devote. Because it's like, some of the stuff she been through, I'm just like, in one lifetime? Is she only like in her 50s?
That wasn't your friend?
Yeah, I mean, she was great. She was great. She really created how she even... And the reason why she started comedy is because her caseworker was like, yeah, girl, you should probably get some of this out. Like, her life is just...
One case?
I forgot she went to...
A team of caseworkers, what she had going on.
She was definitely cooking cocaine. Like, Miss Pat went...
shot her. It was a whole thing.
Oh, somebody shot her in the titty.
Like, it was just
Miss
what's going on? Whoa.
I love her though. She is funny. She is funny. She's like this could be offensive, funny, but it's like not. She's smart. So when the autism came up, I was like, and then she wrapped it back around.
Okay.
So it was. I wasn't, and it's not for me to be offended. I don't have autism, but my cousin, I'm like, that's a sensitive topic for me. So I was like, I don't know what you think. Also, niggas can just be. Also, I like Miss Pat because I watch her show. Like, I just like that she laughs at her own jokes. You could tell she be smirking after she says something. I just think that's just so cute because it's like, okay, stick to your acting. Yeah, I think the conductors and
probably composers too. I feel like composers are good to parody.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that.
I think, I don't know if it's necessarily like holding up a mirror, but I also think it's something that we do. Like, a lot of times on here, like, we'll talk about like the practicalities of like classical music that people don't think about, like how we always be talking about how it must have smelled. Like, we were just talking about Mussorgsky and how he looked and how he really must have smelled something fierce. Like, I feel like putting maybe a skit that would put classical music in the context of like what was going on back then, but like through our lens, like y'all favorite composers was squatting over a hole in the ground, y'all not wiping themselves.
Yeah. Like classical music sketch comedy could be so. I feel like sketch comedy will go well in classical music. I feel like stand-up comedy would not, depending on no shade. It would have to be like white sketch comedy because I feel once we get up there and start saying that y'all don't shower and be like, have the crowd gonna be like, what's wrong with that?
I was about to say,
because I smell every year. Look how we walk into Laurie Hall. Look how gorgeous it is. It's got marble. It got sculptures. It got a grand staircase when you walk into Laurie Hall, be like, maybe the $60K worth it. That's how you feel walking in there. Imagine my surprise. It's April. The snow started melting. It smelled like a farm. Why y'all not showering? Why y'all not doing it?
Well, because the snow is melting. There's water on the ground which trickles up. Yep, that's
why y'all not showering. I know college is hard. I've done it 4 times. No, 3 times. I know college is hard and consume. It ain't never been so hard. I can't hop in the shower for 5 minutes every day. I don't understand why my $60,000 smell like a farm. So I know y'all wouldn't find that funny. And I feel like also classical music is too rigid for us to do. And also I said I would never do stand-up because it's way too hard. It is no.
Doing our partner stand-up routine.
But the first, Miss Pat had 2 openers. The first one bombed so bad. I think he finished his set early.
That's and they say it happens to everybody.
You have to do it. And I'm happy to do everything. I've bombed the masterclass. I've bombed the Katie Makes a Vegan video. There's been episodes of the show that haven't been good. I've bombed in every single way. I bombed, I put a script up a couple months ago at my writing group and they were like, so the bones are good. Don't do that. I've bombed in every way. What I will not do is me get up on stage and be like, cricket. Okay, I'm not doing that. I don't want my ego.
I don't cheer.
He bombed so bad.
Nobody was laughing.
And it's mainly niggas. So people were like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, no. What was it really? He wasn't funny at all. Did you think he was funny?
It was weird. What was it? Oh my god!
Because I really want to know. And that's the thing about niggas. They're gonna let you know. They're gonna be like, and then heckling has become such. It's always been a thing, but like especially with social media, like a lot of people, their whole thing is crowd work.
I hate that.
Which is like write a joke. Like
literally write a joke. No, but I haven't been to like obviously every comedy club is different, and I haven't been to many. I've probably been like since I've been here maybe like 6 or 7, but
I gotta start going to comedy clubs. I love stand-up comedy.
But what I will say is most of them I've been to, especially like the improv franchise, heckling's not allowed. Most of them I've been to, heckling's not allowed. But it's the people around me were just like, what? That's all you could hear. Like, what?
Wait, you have your thing. Who was it?
Oh, I gotta look. No, openers are usually not listed, but I'll see if I can find it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna find him. It was really bad. What was his joke about? it got weird real quick because he was talking about sex, and then he was talking something. Oh God, I wish I could remember it. Everybody was just like, I think he like ended it early because the second guy was so long, like longer than excuse me, longer than a normal opener would be. Because normally I feel like an opener is like 10 minutes each, and he was up there for a little minute.
She said she had 3 openers.
No, 2, but the first guy was only there for like 5 minutes.
Oh, so that was the bad guy.
That was it. And so the second one, he was up there for way longer.
Because to make up for
and
it.
I feel like he's making up for the time. I mean, he could have had his set. Everybody has their set. But, yikes. I've never seen somebody bomb.
In person, too.
I've never seen somebody bomb.
Cringeworthy.
But yeah, I mean, you got to put the reps in.
Yeah, because I've heard like people be like, even professional comedians be like, it happens to everybody. And you really gotta have that. I don't know. Do I have that thick skin? Just being a stand-up is such. I respect stand-up comedy as art so much because it's like it just seems so hard.
And when you see somebody who's really good, I think also I'm kind of spoiled because I'm like, after I seen Jay Jordan, like honestly, like a lot of y'all just Jay Jordan is so.
All right, you're mutual.
Oh yeah, he followed me back. That was so cool. I was like, okay,
your colleague. Well.
But
matter of time.
When you see good comedy, it's like Kevin on stage must be good too because I already said it last. I'm on a social media fast for the first half of the day. So of course I go on Instagram and Kevin on stage did a show. He had 4 nights, or no, yes, 6 nights, all sold out. And I heard his regular comedy is like regular. Mm-hmm. But anyway, thought that was fun. We should move on though. But okay, what a time.
Well, for the topic this week, like Katie said, we are talking about Richard Smallwood, who passed away recently, a gospel legend.
Yeah. So if you don't know, which maybe you know at this point, like maybe y'all be like, let me look up this Cardi B person. Who was the people you'll be talking about? Because you might as well. It's not strictly classical music over here, but I mean, this is kind of because he has 2 degrees in classical music from Howard. So Richard Smallwood is a gospel artist and also an ordained minister because he got his master's in divinity from Howard later on. He's a pianist who actually began playing by ear at first, and then his parents were like, let me put him into some piano lessons, and then he started his first gospel group at 11. It's like, okay, so you was meant to do this because I was not doing nothing like that at 11. He started the group The Celestials at Howard University when he was there, which was the first gospel group ever at Howard University. He later on, during that time, he wanted to contemporize, which I found was a real word, gospel music. Dalanie will talk more about that. And his first studio album with the Celestials, no, my bad. He's founded a group called The Vision, and that studio album was on the Billboard the gospel charts for 87 weeks. Jesus. Like 87. That's like a year and a half. That's absolutely nuts. His album Psalms got him a Grammy nomination. His most famous work, Total Praise. I feel Total Praise is the song where it's like you don't have enough notes for your sermon, so you let the church fall out a little bit. Cause I be noticing stuff. Y'all don't have enough notes. You let the atmosphere keep churning because you really could calm it down. I've seen it done. Dr. Nita's really good at that. Like I wanna keep it here, but we gotta keep going. But y'all let it go. Total Praise is one of them songs that could do that. You could really buy yourself like 20 minutes of people falling out if you do Total Praise. Period. Also, his song "I Love the Lord" that Whitney Houston sang in The Preacher's Wife, which I really haven't watched since childhood, really brought him to that thing. In addition to Total Praise, was the thing that really got him like I don't want to say mainstream recognition, but like it's a lot of gospel girls out there, so that's what really did it for him. Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2006. Oh, the ordained preacher thing happened in 2004 at Metropolitan Baptist, which I said I wanted to visit next time I'm in DC, if DC is still there. And he also got the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award in 2023. So shout out to you, Richard Smallwood. And yeah, I lied. the Richard Smallwood Singers was the 87 weeks. Vision did Total Praise. So we have the Celestials. We got the boy group at 11. We got the Celestials at Howard University. We have the Richard Smallwood Singers. That's the 87 weeks on the gospel charts. And then we have Vision. And his first album with Vision is the one that had Total Praise on it. Which also goes to show, like, he's been doing this for a long time. And sometimes it just takes a little bit longer.
I was about to say, his classical background it was classical singing and ethnomusicology, which I was like, I wonder what he was studying under that. And that also he performed with Leontine Price.
Yes, and the Clark sisters, and they really could have left Kim Burrell off of that. Like, really, nobody cares about that. A couple, Destiny's Child.
That's a prime example. Beautiful voice, ugly soul.
Like, what's the point of having a beautiful voice if you fit to be at the devil's footsteps?
Nasty spirit.
You think you really could be acting like that? If I die and I see Kim Burrell where I'm at, I'm gonna be like, this is the bad place. Like, there's no way. There's no way.
What a lady. Okay, well, back to what you said about him contemporizing. That's gotta be an episode title.
Contemporizing.
Yeah. Contemporizingly black.
Yep.
Gospel music, what, in the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a mentor, Ricky. Nope. Not Ricky Dillard, because Ricky Dillard is way younger than him.
Because the Smallwood Singers in 1977. I mean, he's really a product of his time, because this was exactly the time where everybody was like, hey, let's contemporize gospel music. Like because literally what is like agreed upon as the golden age of gospel ends in the 60s. And then that's where, like, and at the tail end of that is when you get like the Clara Ward singers, who started to introduce a little bit, like, they were more theatrical. They were also more like flashy, and like the clothes that they wore were controversial. I was like, y'all would have never y'all would have never imagined 2009 when Erica Campbell wore that dress, that white dress. Remember that
That
dress?
was so controversial. She looked good too.
Like, y'all could have never.
I forgot. Let me see. I forgot about that.
Wait.
The church is nuts.
Do you remember? Did you see that TikTok where somebody was like, do y'all remember that song that's like, I love God, you don't love God, fuck wrong with you? I see the TikTok. I was like, we were like, the comments was like, so you might have we were like,
Period.
friend, you might have a lyric or two wrong.
That's the same girl. There's a girl who made a TikTok, and she was like, this is why I can't go to church. And she was watching Pastor Mike McClure, and she was like, he preaching his ass off. it's like everybody gonna look around like, wait, hold on.
Or that one that was like, man, I stood up in church, I said, man, fuck the devil. Everybody looking at me like, oh, I thought we hated this nigga. Right? And so y'all not standing on business?
Like, Pastor Mike retweeted that too. I mean, posted it.
But yeah, that, so in the timeline of gospel music, like, yeah, I feel like mid-60s is when it's like the golden age of gospel kind of ends. Late 60s, you start to see people like, again, Clara Ward singers putting in like little things. There's still like, there's a lot of groups around this time, but like they have more theatrical performances. Some people really liked it. Other people was like, they doing too much. They love a good doing too much, because it just feels like you always have to have somebody coming in, adding in a little extra razzle dazzle. Now, I think to the point, not necessarily with gospel music, but with some church things, I think some people would too much razzle dazzle, because we was talking about mega churches and stuff. Like, y'all sometimes y'all be doing a little too much with the smoke machines and the.
I'm like, why am I in here coughing?
Like,
I played this one gig in Memphis, and I was just like, so. I'm not even one of them people like, where to God at. I'm not really one of them people, but like, I was genuinely like, what this got to do with Christmas? It was like a mega church out in the boonies on the outskirts of Memphis, and there was so much smoke machines, it started to stink.
In the trapeze stuff and the whatever, it just when it gets to be too bombastic. Cause like, yeah, I don't think like church gotta be boring, but whatever. Like maybe it's a little smoke here and there. If that's what makes the atmosphere for you, whatever. I think we could be allowed to be creative. But again, like you were saying, like when people struggling and y'all doing too much, it look like a rave in here. Like, but how about we start prioritizing y'all denying people benevolence and all that type of stuff, but we got streamers coming for the thing and gold confetti and all that. Like, nah. But so we went from y'all can't play no instruments in church to that. But at the beginning, you had people. I feel like that's how gospel artists. Every time I feel like there was an evolution in the church and stuff, like gospel artists were the ones to do it. Like, like it was controversial for gospel artists to record music, to sell records and stuff like that. Like. But then people started doing that, and then they started realizing, like, oh, it's literally spreading the word of God. Like, it's a good thing.
I was talking to Amari about this, because I feel like Christianity a little loose. Because, like, how come there's no, like, what they be, like, the hospital, there's no Muslim records? Like, how come y'all don't?
Yeah. I guess I've never really thought about
like, what y'all putting on when y'all getting ready for Eid? For, you know what I'm saying, for Eid? Like, what's the vibes? Apparently, I was talking to Amari because somebody close to him is Muslim. There's like very specific ways about how the Quran can be. I don't know nothing about that, but I was just like, it's real loose. I mean, I think to be fair, every religion has some type of extreme side, or not. I don't want to say extreme. I'm losing the word for it, but there's a scale of like how conservative you are, or whatever. Because you know, I mean, there's Muslims who don't wear hijab.
I was saying that one church where you can't play no instruments.
That do keep me away from Church of Christ. What y'all got going on?
Like, so there's that. But then like in the 70s and stuff, that's when people started using like more popular music. There was a little bit of that because you had like swung spirituals and stuff with jazz, but a lot of people was like none of that jazz stuff because they thought it was low-key demonic, and a lot of them was on heroin and stuff. So it just was a lot of stuff that was associated with secular music in general, but that particular genre. But then what also helped that is like you had artists that cross over. I really think the first genuinely successful crossover gospel artist was Aretha Franklin. You had other people that tried. Sam Cooke released music under a pseudonym, which I forgot what it was, but it was very close to his name. Like Cook it was Sam. Like everybody know who you were, huh?
Cook Sam,
right? Cook and Sam. It was something that was like literally everybody knows it's you. But I feel like the 70s is when people was like, okay, that disco stuff. Like there was a lot of like, just like the music industry changed. And the role that music played in people's lives, like it was just a more lively scene. And so like with disco and funk and everything, it has so much more presence in people's lives that that gospel artists were like, well, yeah, let's see how we could incorporate that. And Andre Crouch was like, I feel like at the forefront of that. And so I feel like that's the environment, like Richard Smallwood was a product of that environment.
That makes sense. Well, period. Remember the Clark sisters? Were they around that?
I feel like they was just coming out around that time.
But they stuff started sounding funky later on. Yeah, period.
I didn't know that they I can't remember which inspired what, but there's a relationship between You Brought the Sunshine and Master Blaster, which is a Stevie Wonder song. I forget which inspired which. I think You Brought the Sunshine is earlier, so.
I was gonna say Bomb Gilead, but that's why I remember we were at St. Louis Symphony. I was like, why not doing Bomb Gilead? I remember that is Karen's song, not. But I was like, you really could start you really could do a little something to Bomb Gilead, so it gets a little funky in there. One thing that's very significant. Shout out to Aurora who put me on. I think he has a memoir I might read over the summer. I no more books, but. He really
do our readathon. You can knock some out.
Sorry. The readathon will be worse. I think I read the most I read during that readathon was Away From You on the walking pad with an audiobook. And no, I'm lying. Well, that was
here.
We had like 30 or 40 minutes. We started in good faith.
We did.
And we tried to restart in good faith.
See.
And everything in between was foolishness. But he had significant mental health struggles, during which he wrote. Sorry, my bad. You said what?
I said twin.
During which he wrote Total Praise. And I thought it was interesting, this idea that a lot of artists are just, they make really beautiful things at their most unhappiest. And this idea that you isn't necessary to create. And I think about people like Mindy Kaling, who has said that all her writer friends are depressed, and she's not. Not in that type of callous way, but I'm paraphrasing. And I'm curious about that. Because me, when I'm going through something, I can't do anything. I just lay around.
Yeah, I'm similar. Like, I'm not gonna get nothing done.
I'm not pouring into my heart. Pouring into my mouth. I'm eating.
All right.
You can't be transparent.
I can make you a gut sculpture. How my gut.
So, that's all I like about Dalanie. Dalanie it's always okay when I make a point. It's always okay, and then she just realized, like, hold on, Katie had a point.
I can't agree. But what you say last time when you walked something back and you was like, I can't change my mind. So I can't change my mind.
You allowed to change your mind.
Exactly.
As long as you acknowledge that you was changing your mind and not trying to.
Okay, I changed my mind.
Okay, very good.
So I think there's a lot of people. I mean, I feel like the tortured artists and stuff, like, sometimes it's an ongoing thing. It's not even just like I'm going through this season and I made this thing. Sometimes it's just like I'm mentally ill or like whatever, and this is what I got going on. So, and I really don't know. It's hard because sometimes it's like a chicken and the egg. Sometimes it's like that's how people are, and they are artists and they pour that into their art or whatever. And then sometimes being an artist, depending on the type of artist you are, can contribute to that. And that's why a lot of like pop stars and stuff deal with substance abuse. Like people who are super famous because it's very overstimulating and it's like hard to come down from that. And so they do stuff to keep that high. And stuff
video
like
with Justin Timberlake, not Justin Timberlake. What's that white boy?
Bieber?
And SZA on stage when he was like clearly like, and I'm like, this song that was really scary to me. Cause it's like there are so many people who just don't give a damn about you, because it's like the show must go on, and it's like you are literally he was so high or coming down. I don't know how that stuff works. Coming down or so high that he really didn't have a control of his body. He was singing the words and stuff like that, but SZA was like ushering him around the stage. It was nuts. I'll try to find a video, and I'm just like,
But I don't know. I mean, I also think that he was like Richard Smallwood kind of in a unique position too, because we're talking about like, well, we going through something. It's not really, let me pour into my art, but his art is connected to his faith. So maybe that's why, like,
sometimes it makes it harder, because I remember I went through something. I was like, well, since you don't give a damn. And then I was like, sorry, I'm being dramatic. But I mean, it be real sometimes. I'm just, well, since you don't care,
be feeling that way.
But I think also it depends on like where you are.
I love a good putting words in his mouth. I love a good see, baby.
Like, I think also it depends on like where you are in your faith as well. Because I heard Dr. Nita say something about like, well, I've come this far with you, so I might as well just stick it out. So it depends on your maturity. I was like, well, since you don't care about this or anything I got going on, all right. And I've heard people say that Tabitha Brown said that. I mean, Tabitha Brown was kind of going through it. Why Tabitha Brown always in some mess? What's going on with that?
She's a new mess. You saw they packing up your friend? I was like,
oh,
let me check on Katie. Bowen, they mad at him. And then I was like, okay, really about to, because I saw in the comments or something they were talking about how you want to be white so bad, and then in the comments they were like, him and Mindy. I said, what now? Katie would be fighting for her life in these comments.
One thing Mindy gonna do is catch a stray. Mindy always gonna catch a stray.
And y'all not wrong, but I love Mindy down. So, and I wouldn't go so far. Actually, well, I don't know that lady, but I understand where it comes from. But also Mindy is brilliant and
that's
perfect the way that she is.
So, I love Mindy.
So I hope she feels that.
Mindy can do no wrong, and I love her, and I hope when I meet her I think the same, because I don't know her.
Yeah, I don't know, but she seems very sweet.
She thinks
she's brilliant and very talented.
Really brilliant.
So I'm like,
Bowen. That's why it's like, what's my day gonna be? Because it's like, I was like, Bowen. It's like, okay, I already was barely recovering from Ego leaving SNL, but I was like, okay, stay. And then I was like, well, we got Bowen. And then what a way to celebrate my Christmas with him announcing whatever. I haven't even watched it. I don't even know what happened. Him and Ariana.
Yeah. You heard about it?
Huh?
You heard about it though?
Yeah, because I'm in that loop. I ain't watched that Christmas episode. I haven't watched it since. I'm like,
oh, you haven't watched the SNL thing. I thought you mean you haven't watched what people mad at him about.
And then I saw and I'm like, why are you saying? And then people like, you didn't see the whole clip. And I'm just like, and so now everybody's like, and Bowen ain't contribute nothing to SNL. And I'm like, wait. And that's why I hate people.
People love running away with stuff.
I'm like, now Bowen can't act. And people are like, he left his career to do what? And I'm just like, hold up.
Let's run away with it.
Bowen is brilliant. But I said I was going to take some time to see what he said about, because honestly, like, you live in New York. So either way, we ain't got nothing to do with you. Yeah, what a time. Anyway, the last point I thought was really interesting about, who we talking about? I'm playing Richard Smallwood. Sorry, because it was Bowen and it was Mindy, and then of course my default is Issa, since we talking about.
Oh, you saw her deal?
Yes.
Listen,
I'm an Issa-aholic. I'm so sorry.
Anything she do,
I know. What you mean? Did I see? I know everything. Wait, hold on.
I almost texted you. I was like, it's gonna come up.
Remember, the same girl was like, I'm Rudy Poot, and I'm gonna go on air, and I'm like, right? Oh, okay, girl. Anyway, my Capricorn queen. What's her birthday?
Meanwhile, she knew she was in talks for that.
Right.
That's all I like about her.
That's all. I can't.
Only thing I could give her is like, you just never, nothing's ever final till the ink is dry. But like, girl, you knew you in that room.
And
like,
TV's so hard because it's like they'll make the whole show, the whole pilot, the whole everything, and never.
Yeah, I was about to say, even that deal don't mean your stuff finna be on TV.
Yeah, because she had an HBO deal when they pulled
Rap
Sweet
Shit,
Life
yeah.
and Rap Shit.
I was like, super. I want to be like her because long that check clearing. I mean, I know you want to see your stuff come to fruition though.
That's because like everything is about
see that bread come to fruition.
Everything's about like what's next. This is really hard.
Yeah, and
I really want to work on unsubscribing from that mentality. But anyway, I saw a video about Richard Smallwood. He was doing a masterclass on Total Praise, and it was the first time not the first time. The former music minister in my church ran a real strict program, but he had his bachelor's degree in piano performance from Northwestern. So it was real strict. He used to love to tell people he was singing on the song, all that type of stuff. But seeing him treat Total Praise with so much care, like the altos pitched something down, he was like, no, everybody does that. That's the wrong note. And it was the first time I really saw classical gospel music spoken about in that way, or at least in a long time, because we treat classical music that way. Like my student was playing Shradiak, and I'm writing notes down, and he's playing. And I was like, wait, you're playing the wrong note. And I wouldn't let him just keep doing it because like it's his interpretation of it, you know. And he wrote those notes. And he even said like, you change the chord when you do that. And that's what made me be like, oh, I have to read about him, because I'm plenty of musicians know that kind of language, regardless if you can read music or not. I'm just saying the way it was said, I was like, he must be a music girl. He like one of us. And yeah, I thought it was really interesting how he treated his. I mean, it's his own work, but also how he treated it with so much care. It was like, no, that's the wrong note, and we will do it the right way. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think also it could be connected to the fact that he does have that classical training. He's like, I'm not gonna be. Like he wrote it how he want to hear it, and I feel like, I mean, some people might feel like, oh, well, gospel is not willy nilly, but like there's also like, it's obviously like the Spirit gonna take you, or whatever.
And it's a greater purpose to gospel music in a way that, I mean, it's a greater purpose. It's different. I'm not even trying to contextualize. It really just is. It's made for a specific reason. It's a tool for something else in a way that other musics are not. So I think that's why it can get a little willy-nilly. Yeah. Not willy-nilly, but we're using this for praise and worship. We're using this for the children's youth program. Like, it's not, and it's like, it's on to the glory of God, but what's his name? Pastor Vernon, the music minister, would always be like, well, we bring out our best. He was very, very strict. Very, very strict.
Said, come as you are.
And then this my friend who was a Black Israelite, the one who ended up I can't say that because it's gonna make me sound like I'm anti-woman. But she, you know what I'm talking about? We talk about her all the time because she got all them kids with that man that. Come on, my former best friend. Girl,
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
And she would be like, but the Bible doesn't say to stay that way. And I'm like, well, look like he was coming or staying away. So, that's why them real strict denominations, I don't know. Y'all do your thing. I'm not judging, but it's just like, it'll always be something. It'll always be smoke and mirrors to me. I've never seen no real strict.
You know, what you got going on? I wouldn't take advice from you about nothing.
Y'all never be strict Monday through Saturday. And that's not for me. That's not for me to say. I'm just saying, like, God forbid a girl cuss a little, have a drink. But y'all be wearing them skirts and be lifting them up. So, sorry.
Okay.
Anyway. Well, that was it. Oh, me. It's time for Black Excellence where we hype you up, gas you up, and give you props because there's room for everyone at the top. Who you talking about, Dalanie?
This week, I am talking about Cheyenne King Bells. Hey, girl.
Nice thing. She real tired of us. We do not answer an email. We're going to do better.
She was just announced on Musical America's Top 30 Professionals. So a little bit about her. She works for the Sphinx organization as a director of community experience. So if you have ever done Sphinx Lead or gotten Empower Artist Grants, or if you've ever been a Sphinx Connect, then say thank you, Cheyenne, because she makes that happen. She has a BA in violin performance from Mercer University. And she has also performed at several major festivals. She also used to work as an administrator at Carnegie Hall. So, she's been around doing her thing. I went to a festival with Cheyenne. I can't remember which one though. It probably was Interlochen. Because I remember, maybe not. I mean, I only been to 3. So, and it definitely wasn't EMF. So I feel like we went to Interlochen together or something like that when we were kids. But yeah, and now she's doing her thing with Sphinx. And I was like, okay, top 30 in America, like, that's period. So shout out to her. And yeah, like Katie said, we gonna respond to your emails.
My girl, we sorry.
Like,
our piece of the week is Total Praise.
Period.
Thanks so much for listening to Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. If you have that's our old outro, but we do have the Ebony Tower. That's patreon.com/Classically Black Podcast. Thanks for listening, and we will talk to you next week. Yep.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.